What's up, guys? I'm Kyle Mylan, and it has been a while since I've been live. Just got back from vacation last night and originally had this live planned with my partner in crime, Christian, but he's out of office today. And we said, you know what? We're going to go ahead with the show and still teach you some things about HubSpot, but then we're going to reschedule an even bigger HubSpot demo with Christian so that way we can go back and forth because I know how much you guys like that. Got the orange behind us to represent the HubSpot colors. For those of you that are new to the content, I come live once a month, post a bunch of videos on YouTube talking about sales and marketing, no BS, tips, tricks, things that you can learn today, implement today that will help increase your revenue and make you smoother, faster, and better. Because this is what we do here at Mylan Media. We help companies increase their revenue with all sorts of marketing, whether it's web, SEO, automation, paid media, etc., etc. Everything under the sun. We're here to deliver content for you that you can apply today. Is that a good intro, Laura? Laura gave me the thumbs up, although she did put her hands up. Like, I don't know, but she's shaking her head. Yes. So we're going to jump into it. If you guys want to watch this on replay, it's on the YouTube channel. Just type my name in, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you can get all of the great content that my team here is producing every single week, whether it's pre-planned videos, shorts, some behind the scenes footage, or these lives that get chopped up into small bite-sized pieces. Make sure you subscribe, and then even subscribe to the Mylan Media channel on YouTube, where we've got even funner stuff where it's not just me sitting here talking the whole time. So today's all about you. Today's all about YouTube. Today's all about HubSpot. We are a platinum level, almost at diamond. Should hit that by the end of the year. Platinum level partner, which means we know a lot of stuff about it. We've got numerous clients in it. We've sold numerous licenses. There isn't much that we don't know about what HubSpot can do. And for those of you that are in the CRM systems out there, you know, especially with HubSpot, things are changing every single month, new features, new updates, and they're constantly moving menu systems where stuff is located, but they're just doing it to try and improve and bring you guys the best platforms out there. Comparing HubSpot to all of the other marketing stacks, I was pushing against HubSpot for the longest time. I hated the system. I thought it was stupid. And then about 3-4 years ago, they made some drastic improvements and updated the look, the feel, the interaction. Can it do everything that we want? Is it our sole platform that we use ourselves? No, it's not. We have other systems that we add on top of it to make things even better. But out of all the CRMs out there, especially with their change in pricing structure earlier this year, HubSpot is the best bang for your buck. You can do everything that you need. Start out small and get bigger from there as your team continues to expand or as your budget continues to expand with your marketing tech stack. HubSpot's there to be able to add on different platforms. It really is the best out there. And we use every system. We've got clients in Microsoft Dynamics 365, Zoho, Apollo, Sugar, Pipedrive, like everything out there we're using for our clients. And then about half to maybe 60% of our clients are HubSpot users, and we're in there managing their stuff. So we've got our hands in a lot of different systems, and some systems are better in some areas where HubSpot may lack. And we just use those systems as auxiliary or bolt-on third-party platforms to make the system, the marketing machine, do what it needs to do. But specifically today, if you guys are HubSpot users, you're going to see some familiar stuff. If you're not HubSpot users, you're going to learn some things in the most underutilized areas of HubSpot and the stuff that we deal with every single day. I lead up most of the training here at Mylan Media, where we're training our clients on how to use it, implementing systems, workflows, structures, automations, custom fields, everything in between. And I'm just here to give you a couple of tips. So go ahead and share my screen, Laura. Let me know when we're good. So we're good to go. This is going to be a new experience for you guys, something that we're going to be doing more of actual getting into my computer so I can walk you through stuff. So it's not just written down on the iPad, but this should be a familiar area. I've got a demo account here, so it's not going to have a ton of information in it. We're going to build out a demo account with lots of information so we can start doing more of these to really show you the back end of it. But within this is going to be the familiar area. This is just the reporting where I want to focus my attention on initially, and this is something that so many companies don't customize, is going to be when you go to your deals, it's going to look like this. And I've got some dummy deals in here. But where most people, number one, you can hide your metrics by clicking that. But what most people don't optimize or customize is their pipeline stages. And this is stuff that once you make changes to it, it's not like you can't go back and change it. But I'm going to show you some key changes to make. So number one, you can go to it just by clicking on, I'm going to open up in a new tab, go to your settings, go under objects, and you'll see deals. And right here, you're going to see pipelines. And in the pipelines, you can have multiple pipelines. Number one is the key, is that you can set up pipelines for a specific plant location. You can set up pipelines for a specific product or a division of your company. You can have multiple pipelines in here. Right now, by default, there's two because we are a HubSpot partner. The shared pipeline got in there, but you can create a pipeline right here, something brand new, and then only give people access to that pipeline. But if you look at the main sales pipeline, which is by default, you've got all of your different stage names here. All these things can be changed. So if you're like, hey, you know what? Appointment scheduled, that's not a good one. Qualified to buy, that's not a good one. You can say that this is maybe qualification. Maybe this is RFQ or RFP, depending on what business you have. So you can change the stages and you can even move the stages. The probability percentage is stupid. It basically says that if you move to these stages, your probability of closing the deal increases. Realistically, we all know that once you send somebody pricing, it's not like that makes it 90% likely to close. This is more of a SaaS feature of theirs, where with SaaS companies, maybe it is more true once you get to a certain stage. But in general, you send somebody pricing, you probably got a 50% chance. So you can change those here. But what I want to focus on is ordering these in what you guys actually do. Because if you don't, as you're trying to get your salespeople, let me refresh my screen. As you're trying to get your salespeople to create a deal and move them through these different stages of the pipeline, as this test deal moves through, which you can drag and drop, they're not going to use it if the stages aren't correct. So the first step is look at your stages. You want to make it as simplistic as possible. You don't want to have 50 stages. You want to have some sort of qualification or some and I'm going to show you why we don't do appointment schedule anymore. But you're going to want to have some sort of qualification stage. Let's delete that. Oh, I can't because there's already three deals in there. But you're going to have a qualification step. Then it's going to be like, once it's qualified or once it's about to be qualified, is there a step after that? Is there decision maker buy-in? Is there just straight to an RFQ? After you have a request for quote, request for pricing, then you should have something. Let's say we move this here. You should have something that says pricing sent or RFQ sent. Like there should be something there to say, okay, it's moved from the quoting stage to the RFQ sent. And while you're thinking about the different stages, understand that at every stage, it's just a classification of the stage that deal's in that you can then use automation for after it's done. So for example, when you move from an RFQ to pricing sent, all deals have different stages and all deals have different properties. So if we look at this test one, the close date by default, the close date is typically 30 days from when you create it, but we want to usually set that to be like 60 days, which is super easy change. But maybe I want a custom property in here where I say the date that it was sent, the RFQ was sent on. Now, these close dates you can change and you can go in here and set them to be in the future and you can customize how it's done. Let's say this deal is going to close end of next month. When I move it to the RFQ stage or pricing sent, when I move it to that stage, I want that sent date, quote sent date, pricing sent date to be auto populated into a field that says proposal sent, if that's important to you. So that's where you have to look at this and say, okay, a deal, an opportunity, whatever you want to call it, what other custom properties do I want included on that deal? So that way I can take some sort of action or I can use it in a report. And people are typically just like, oh, well, we're just going to go by the defaults and whatever it has. But the deal and the pipeline stages is so important. So let's just say, for argument's sake, that when I move this to pricing sent, so it's in RFQ, I move to pricing sent, I want a field to auto update. Well, you could do that with a workflow super easily, but first you got to create the field. So we're going to go in here and we're going to say, this is the deal. And we can look at all properties and let's just see if a sent property is set. So I'm going to say sent and it's a date entered. So you've got the date entered, date exited, but I don't want that type of field because that just is weird. I just want a proposal sent field. So I'm going to be like, you know what? It's not in here. So let's go. And I'm going to show you quickly how to do custom properties. So you just go in here, you go to properties, the first tab, it's going to show you select an object. We don't want to be in contact properties. We want to be in deal properties. So you go to deal properties. I'm going to create a new one and I'm going to say RFQ sent. The type, it's going to be in the deal. The group is going to be in dealer information, but what's the field type? The field type is going to be a date. And it's going to just show the date. We don't need date and time. And we're going to create this. Okay, cool. The property is now created. And this is stuff that we do all the time with our clients, where we go through a process of discovery, looking at what are the different stages of your pipeline, what are the different things that are important to you, or what are things that we think should be important to you, and we're going to create all of these custom properties. Usually we try and do it all in one fell swoop and say, here's 50 properties, 100 properties we have to create. But a lot of times it's like we're in the middle of it, and you know what? We want to have a property for that. Okay, cool. Let's just create it. It's so fast and easy. So when I go back here and I refresh this, and that's what you have to do. You have to refresh it to be able to select it. I'm like, okay, I have that property, or I have that new property of RFQ sent date, but I don't see it here. How do I see it? Another little side tip. You just go in here and you hit the gear icon. You're going to edit the default card. So from here, by default, deal owner, last contact, etc. But I want to add a property, and I'm going to say RFQ sent. See, it's right here. RFQ sent, and I'm going to move that up. So I got the deal owner and I got the last contacted. I'm going to move that up. I'm going to hit save and exit. Super easy. I mean, this is how fast you can do these things to customize it. So RFQ sent date. So when it moves into it, I'm not going to build a workflow because that's a completely different area. But when I move into that field, or that stage of the pipeline, when I move the deal into that stage, I want it to auto populate that date. So all you do is have a workflow that says, when a deal enters the stage, what happens? You're going to edit the property, and you're going to say what do you want to edit it to, date, enter the stage, match it up, good to go. So you can have some quick information here. Or if you want to not do it through automation, you just want to have people populate it, you can. So I can say 814. Now I can run reports to say, show me all the quotes that were sent last week. That's really where you get into the power of this, by customizing the properties in the pipeline stages and customizing your deals. There's so many things you can do with deals, whether it's attachments, workflows, automate, like so many different things, so many different properties, ways that it's displayed, calculations that we have. We had one client that was calculating things. They didn't care about the dollar amount, but they cared about a different property of tons and hauls and things like that, because they were in environmental services. And so we created a calculation that says this dollar amount times this many hauls equals this amount for the deal, and then auto populate the deal amount. And then we had reports that were showing how many hauls per week, how many tons of stuff were they moving per week, etc. All that stuff is customizable, but it's got to start with the original pipeline settings. So customize your pipeline, different stages, call it whatever you want it to be. This is in the wrong pipeline. So as we look back to it, so we got appointment scheduled, qualification, decision maker bought in. Maybe just call this qualified. And so you're going into the qualification stage, and then from there, your salespeople are like, okay, this person's qualified. I'm going to move them to that next stage. Then from there, once they're qualified, hey, do they ask for pricing? And maybe your qualification stage is them asking for pricing. So you know what? You're like, you know what? I don't need this. Delete, save, done. Doesn't really change anything. It doesn't affect anything. People are super concerned about it. The only time you can't delete something is because it's already got people in that stage. So because it has deals in that stage, this has 1, this has 2, you can't delete that stage because it's like, where are these people going to go? Customize the stage names, and then customize the fields within it. So that way you can take further action later, whether it is automation or reporting. Those are the 2 biggest things that you want to do. So that's an area that is completely underutilized. Even if people say, yep, Kyle, I've customized my stage names, we've got that set. It's like, what other things can you do with it? Let me show you something else. Some people use the field, go back to the deals. It's going to be like a priority field. And by default, think that it's right here. Maybe it's not. Oh, and this one, it's not in here. But usually people use a priority level, and they say like low, medium, high, or normal, hot, etc. You can customize what that means to you, and you can customize or just create a new property for it if you want, and then take action from it. So an area that's super underutilized is pipeline management. Let's just say I've got 100 deals in this pipeline, and they're split up between RFQ, pricing sent, and then maybe let's add in another field here that says ghosted. So add a stage, ghosted, or we'll call it stalled. Stalled, and we're going to say if it's stalled, it's dropping down to 30%. And we're going to move that between here and there, between you've sent it and now it's stalled. So this way your salespeople can say, look, it was sent, but I'm not seeing any activity. They haven't responded back to me. So it's in the pricing sent stage, but then from there it gets moved into stall. So you've got all these deals in all these different areas. From a pipeline management standpoint, once it reaches a certain trigger, this is when you want to allow marketing automation to take over. So if I've got deals in all these different stages, I can say, what are the rules with this? Rule number one is the pricing was sent. There's no activity in, let's say, the past 2 weeks. And maybe the client says, you know what, make it 7 days. If we've sent pricing and we don't hear back from them in 7 days, there's nothing scheduled, then we want to make sure that there's some sort of follow-up. But your salespeople are busy, and where they're best spent their time is on the phone or in front of customers trying to close them. So they shouldn't be burdened with like, oh, look at all these deals that are in the proposal sent, all these deals that are in the stage or stalled, etc. Allow it to come back to marketing to allow automation to take over. So it could be as simple as if I quoted Laura something and then I reach out and says, hey, Laura, here's your pricing. It's been 4 days. She hasn't responded. Hey, Laura, I wanted to follow up and see, did you take a look at my proposal? Then from there, 7 days of no activity, it goes into a workflow and she gets an automated email from me. And it's just through a sales sequence that says, hey, Laura, it's been 7 days. It's been this much time. I just want to check in to see if this project was still on your radar or not. And that's where the automation of the marketing side takes over for the salespeople. So you got 5-10 deals in your pipeline, not a big deal. Your salespeople should be able to keep up with it. When you've got hundreds or dozens of deals, and your salespeople are out hunting for new deals and they're out contacting new people and having conversations and traveling, etc. Let the marketing team take over with something just simple as called pipeline management. And this is a service that we do for so many of our clients where we say, we're going to identify the triggers. We're going to meet with your team and say, do we agree that if this happens on a deal, there's no activity, which means there's no task scheduled in the future. There's no current activity. No emails were sent. No emails were responded. If it meets this criteria, are you okay with us sending a simple follow-up message to that? And they're like, yeah, that sounds good. And then we put that workflow in and we take it over from there. And it's very simple and straightforward. But so many deals are lost because they get forgotten about. I mean, I can show you client accounts that has hundreds of deals, no activity for 5, 6, 7 months. It's because the salespeople are working on the next thing. A new lead comes in, a show happens, they're traveling, somebody says, hey, I'm looking for pricing. They focus on that and they forget about the deals that were months ago. And it just becomes in the ghosted area of the pipeline. And we come in and take it over. And there's so much money to be made there. So number one is going to be customize your deal stages. Number two, customize properties, create new properties. It's so simple and easy. Use those for reports. But number three, and most important, is going to be doing some pipeline management. Once something happens, it moves into a stage, a custom property is set, an amount of days from RFQ sent, or something as simple as no activity. No activity in 30 days, no activity in 60 days. Create a workflow that pulls them into a sequence that then sends out a simple message. So underutilized, so important. Let's jump on to the next one. There's only going to be two because this pipeline management and this other one I'm about to talk about are so massive. And I can talk about the second one forever, but it's going to be the new area of Sales Workspace. Sales Workspace originally was prospecting last year. Then in the end of last year, they came out and said, hey, you know what? We're going to call it Sales Workspace. And even still, in the last 3 months, they've added this new one, which is under CRM called Leads, which is just a part of Sales Workspace. But let's jump into it. Sales Workspace, this is where your sales team should be living and breathing every single day. It's so important. This is where I am every single day in our HubSpot. This is where we train our clients in and work everything out of it. When you go into the summary, as long as you have your stuff connected, it'll show you a lot more. You got your tasks for the day. And this is just a summary high level of the corresponding tabs that we're going to go through. You got your tasks for the day. You got your sequence activities. What does that mean? That means anybody that's your contact that's in a sequence is going to show up there. Then you've got your guided actions, which is showing out of all the things that you need to do, this is what we're thinking AI is thinking that you should take care of. This is a great summary. If you have your calendar connected, it's going to show your schedule here. Amazing, quick glance of like, hey, how bad is my day today? How much stuff do I have to get done to keep making the money for my client, for my company? Now you go into leads, and we're just going to quickly set this up because there already wasn't. One click of the button, you got it set up. So under leads, I want you to think of leads as an object. So if I go into a contact record, I'm going to go into my own record, Kyle at rugsucker.com, at the Rugsucker company. I love using this. I'm the janitor at Rugsucker. Okay. And on the right hand side, you'll see this leads. It's just an object. So a lead is not a contact record. It's just an object on top of a contact record. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to add this person as a lead. And this is going to be, let's say I came through chat. And all of these features, all of these different areas, stages, types, all that stuff, 100% customizable and can be done 100% through automation. The lead label, hot, warm, cold, I'm going to say it's warm because he came through chat. The pipeline is going to be the lead pipeline. I only want one for the sake of this. And the stage is new. So I'm going to create the lead. So think of this as a form submission. Somebody comes through chat. You get somebody from a trade show. You get a list of people. You add them in. The contact records are added. And then once a contact record is added, because you have an email address, then a lead object gets added to it. So I go back in. I'm going to refresh. And there it is. There's my lead. So Kyle came through chat from Rugsucker, and it's a lead. Now, as a salesperson, these leads are going to come in. They're open. And your goal is to close out the leads as fast as possible. You want to convert these to deals. So as I look at it, what's cool about it is it gives me high level, the columns that you can customize, what's going on. So I know that the company is Rugsucker. And let's say I want to edit this. I'll move these over. I want to know the company after the type. And I want to know the last activity after the company. I'm going to save that. So the company, so you got the lead name, which you can call it anything. You can call it the first name, last name, the company. You can say it came through chat, it came through a form submission. You can call it a trade show, whatever you want it to do. Remember, a lead is an object within HubSpot that's added on top of a contact record. The lead type is new business. What if you're like, you know what? These are generic terms, new business, upselling, reattempting. Go in and customize it. Go into your properties. This is where everything lives. Hit that gear icon, go into your object, go under leads. Oh, I'm sorry. Go under properties first, then go under leads. And under these lead properties, what do we want to change? We want to change the lead type. So we type in type. So fast and easy. It's a drop-down select. What do we want to do? Let's click on it. I'm going to go to the field type, and it says new business, upsell, reattempting. Those aren't applicable to me. I'm not upselling to anybody because I own a consulting business, or I own a manufacturing company, or I own some e-com stuff. I'm not upselling. So we're going to say new business. Let's say current customer. Current customer. Actually, let's go like this. Let's delete this upsell. Let's add a new one so that way we get the intro name correct. Current customer. And then let's add another option that says new business, reattempting, current customer, trade show. Let's make it one word. Trade show. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to go back here and refresh. I'm going to say this guy came through chat, but it's from a trade show. Bam, done. Save it. All this stuff is done with inline editing. So we know what the lead type is. So I could sort by this. I could filter by this. I could do lots of things. I can then go into reports and say, hey, show me leads that came from this and that. So it's a different way of looking at this. What you have to think of is that previous to the sales workspace and the lead object, a contact would come in and you have a life cycle stage or a lead status stage, and it's new, and it's new life cycle, new lead stage, or the life cycle is lead and the status is new. And you would kind of work it like that. This way you bring those contacts in and you can still have them be life cycle stage a lead and the status is new, but then you would add a lead object to it so you can manage everything through the sales workspace. So this thing gets populated down and you just have hundreds of open leads, and then your salespeople start working through them. And so from here, all this stuff is inline text editable. So you can change the label. You can customize what the labels are, as I showed you with the properties. What's cool about it is if I just click in it, it's going to slide it out. I'm not going to the contact record yet. I'm just looking at the lead object. I could quickly look at any sort of recent communication, activities, etc., high level view of it. So I'm trying to stay within this. But if I have to look at the contact record, if you're a Mac user, hold down Command, and you're going to open this up in a new tab. I can look at the full contact record. Now, previous to this, what people typically do is they would work through a list. Let's just say I look at all contacts. Let's say I have a list that shows my contacts. Previous to it, what people would do is they go in here and they say, okay, I'm going to look at this contact record. Once I'm in the contact record, I'm going to take some sort of action. I'm going to schedule a task. I'm going to do some email marketing to them. I'm going to send them a message, etc. Let me look at the activities, blah, 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 blah. That's what you used to do. And then you go back to your list and you have to open up the next contact record. By it staying within the sales workspace, it makes it so much faster to work through these. And what's cool about it is that if I send this person an email, it will automatically move the stage to attempting by default. Now, if they reply to the email that I've sent them, any sort of reply, then it goes to connected by default. This is just the way that the lead system is set up. And you can customize the different criteria that you want, but that's a great way to automatically work people through stages. So then when I come in here, I could say, show me everybody with the stage of new. Show me everybody with the stage of attempting. Who do I still need to follow up with? And you kind of organize your day. What's also cool is that you can quickly schedule your next step. A lead, a deal that doesn't have a next activity scheduled to it will get forgotten about. So I can be like, you know what? Let me make sure that I call him. It's going to be due today. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to edit it. And you can do it the long way or not. And I'm going to say, when is it due? It's going to be due in 1 week. Save it by default. And at 11:21 p.m. Yeah, that should not remind me at that time. I'm going to say, remind me at 10:45. Or it's due at 10:45 and I can add a reminder to it. So now you can sort through as you get more and more of these of who doesn't have anything scheduled for them. Or you can go on the left-hand side. So it can show target accounts, which a target account is like account-based marketing. Think along those lines. You set a company target account true. So you can be like, show me all of the leads that I have at target accounts, accounts that are important to my company that my boss or the company or upper management has determined as a target. I only want to see leads from those people. And then I go into my open leads. I can look at leads that have recent activity. Activity is going to be any sort of sales activities, deals sent or proposal stages or email sent or meeting schedule, etc. That's going to be recent activity. And you can say, show me everybody that's not in a sequence. Now, was that? Oh, so are we still live? We're still live. Okay. So when you look at this, you can say, not in a sequence. I want my leads to be flowing through a sequence so that way I don't have to manually do everything. You can say, oh, look, I got this one person that's not in a sequence and I want to enroll them in one, right? You can do it through that. But this way of managing leads is completely different than how people were previously doing it at HubSpot. Previously, people were doing it through custom lists and then through contact segmentation and filters. You'd be like, hey, I want to go look at these people. I want to look at this list, etc. With the sales workspace, it takes care of all of your leads. And keep in mind, because it's a contact record, you can add multiple leads to it, but it's just an object here. One thing that we typically do is once a deal goes or once a lead gets qualified, we set up a workflow that says, if it's qualified, now create a deal from it. And the deal name is going to be the company name, the date, whatever you want it to be. But now I'm going to automatically create a deal that says this person is qualified as a lead. Now I'm going to make it a deal or an opportunity. And then from there, I'm going to work it through those different pipeline stages. So no different than when you look at your deal stages here, your pipeline for leads has different stages. So you've got your deal stages, which we've already customized. But then you've got your different lead stages: new, attempting, connected, qualified, disqualified. Again, you can customize these stages. You can call it whatever you want. And as your salespeople work through it, now you can do reporting based off of it. And that's really the power, is that previous to the sales workspace and the lead object and the customization of fields and the addition of fields and all these new things within the lead object, you couldn't really report cleanly leads in HubSpot. Well, now you can. Because if you set it up your system to say anybody that raises their hand is a lead, or anybody that I'm going to target is a lead, you can look at it and say, how many people did we import in that we say are target accounts? And I just assigned these 40 leads to Laura. Laura's got 40 leads, but then she's got other leads that were assigned through web form completions, chat, trade shows, all these other things. So you can segment out your leads by type and even by the source that they came from. So such a powerful tool that is so underutilized. And again, I'm going to create a full, probably hour-long training video on just the sales workspace using live actual data to show you all the different things you can do for it. If you guys are interested in that, just leave a comment and say, I want more training or sales workspace or something like that, and we can get that set up. Now, going into the next tab of the sales workspace is going to be the deals tab. The deals tab, this is where you can quickly look at all your deals. So as you have hundreds of deals or dozens of deals in here, you can say, show me everything open, what's stalled. It's been in that stage. There's been no activity for X amount of time. I think it's like 3 days or 14 days, something like that. The HubSpot has automatically set. So the deal has stalled. So let me look at those first. I'm gonna look at the stalled deals, and you just click on it, and it shows your deals here, no different than the deals that are in or the different lead stages. So if I go into these deals, I'm going to assign these to myself. Let me update that one, this one. I'm going to update all 3 of these. So now these are all myself. I'm going to go in here and refresh. Now I should have deals in here. So there's 1 open, there's 1 no activity scheduled, and there's just one that's gone through. 3 is all deals. So look at this. I'm saying open deals. Oh, these are, yep, no, they're coming through. So you've got the key factors. And this is HubSpot's AI that's showing you based on these things, we're given a likelihood to close scale of 41 because it's been in current stage for 222 days, which is insane. It was created more than almost 3 years ago. All this information comes in and the AI is like, I think that there's a low likelihood for this to close. But as it moves through the stages, as there's more emails, as there's more activity, then that likelihood increases. You've got your next meeting date. Hey, there's no activity here, man. If I'm the sales manager, I'm looking at all of these no activity scheduled. And I'm going to my sales team. I'm like, you got 46 deals with no activity scheduled. How can you possibly remember it? Now, maybe I set up a workflow that automatically looks at a deal and says no activity scheduled, automatically create a task to follow up on deal with this information by this date within 5 days, 7 days, etc. You can automate all that stuff so the guys don't have to do it. But go in here and schedule your to-do. What do you have to do? I got to follow up. I got to requote them. I got to see if that project's still alive. All that stuff is customizable through here. Stale close date. This is the number 1 offender. The date that you think it's going to close is stale. It's old. It's past. It's in the past. Now, some people don't really care about that. I look at it as by default, HubSpot has a close date, and you should be doing some sort of predictive, like when do you think this will close? And I know that deals can change all the time. They can get pushed out, but when do you think that it would close? And once it gets to a certain date, just push it out even further. So your team can quickly go in here and say stale close date. And what you can do is you can you can auto change it. Once you're in the date field, I don't have one in there, but you can auto change it to say, make this in a month. You can look at all your deals, won, lost, etc. But this is a way for you to look at it, and no different than on tasks, the same thing. Any task, you can go in here and manage it, start them, etc. You can look at your schedule once your calendar is connected, and then you can look at your total dashboard. You can create dashboards in here that show your activity. If you're a sales manager, you can show your salespeople activity. But this area, sales workspace, is so underutilized. Again, I'm going to create a full long video that we're going to put up on YouTube that shows all of the different features with real live actual data, and we're going to work through the different modules and how to create it. But I want to give you guys a glimpse of it, is that if you're not using the sales workspace exclusively, your team's not using it every single day, then you're missing out on massive opportunities to not only work your process through faster, organize all your information, save your salespeople time, but most importantly is report on the data. You can finally look at leads as they come in, which HubSpot was missing from a simplistic standpoint for a long, long time. And now they have it to where it's a lead. It's an object. Show me how many leads were set last week. How many of those converted to an opportunity? So you can say deals created last week versus leads and the stage of those deals. So all this stuff is customizable. Those are the 2 areas I want to show today. Next time we go live, we'll bring in Cristian, and him and I will go back and forth on some different things. We're going to take a short break and go through any comments or questions you guys have. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back after that short break. Laura, do we have any questions or comments? We got nothing. You guys are busy. You're not tuning in right now. Totally get that. Watch this on replay. I'm going to go back to work because it's my first day back in office and I got a million things to do. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on notifications, and stay tuned for our next live. And I'll see you guys on the next one.